Man, what's good today, guys? We here at Paradox Productions, Austin, Texas. We chopping it up with TNB today. What's good with it, my man? How you been?
I've been good. It's been about 3-4 years since I've been on the podcast, so I'm just glad to be back on.
I know. I wish I was like you with a nice to go margarita right now, boy. I have to definitely go get me one of those next time. Where'd you get that from? I didn't even ask you where you got that from.
It's just this one Mexican restaurant. It's kind of random. The one I wanted to go to was Chili's, but you know how they do takeout, so I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna go to this place. So I went there, grabbed it to go, and then made it here.
Hey man,
I was trying to make it here on time because I got a bad problem with showing up places late.
Man, that's a common thing here in Austin. That is a Austin thing, man. People, you tell someone to be ready. Hey man, I need you to meet me here at 8 o'clock. You call them. They say, hey, I'm either A, on the way, or B, I'm almost ready. But what do you mean you're almost ready or you're on the way? I told you like 5 hours ago to be here at 8 o'clock.
That's why you gotta start lying. So if you want somebody to be there at 8, tell them like
7. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we started figuring that out too. We always tell people like 35-40 minutes, and then they be, oh, why I get here at 35? Well, because if I would have told you 8 o'clock, you'd have been here at 8:30.
Right, you would have been late.
You'd have been late. Yeah. So I lied to you, so get you here a little early. So you in town for a couple of days, man. Yeah, you came here from Oregon.
I'm in town for like a week.
A week?
A couple weeks. I'll probably leave the 13th.
Okay.
So I'm here for a minute. Yeah.
So what you going to be doing while you're down here, man?
Just catching up with friends. Probably going to the club a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll probably go watch UT play UW. See how that goes.
Man.
Well, in the Alamo Bowl.
I was about to say, when are they playing?
They play Thursday.
They play Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might go check that out. Hit a couple clubs while you in town. What kind of clubs you think you might go to? Have you been to the Domain?
The Domain Club?
Yeah. They got
the Domain has clubs?
Yeah.
In North Austin?
Yes. They got it's called the Rose Avenue. I think that's what it's called at the Domain. But yeah, they got a whole thing. It's like they got the Wonder Bar. They got the Rose Room, which is like almost like a Las Vegas type. The 2-piece outfits on, the roof hanging down. They take
like strippers or what you talking about?
Nah, they're not strippers. I mean, they got like the 2-piece outfits on, depending on what time of the year you go. People want to use, man. Less revealing. I don't know. Whatever word you want to use, but
so they're like bottle girls, kind of.
Yeah, whatever terminology people want to use, man. Less revealing. I don't know. Whatever word you want to use, but
so they're like bottle girls, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got those 2 clubs, and then they got like 3, 4, 5 bars, 6 bars, something like that too. So yeah, if you definitely want to go have a good time with some clubs, it's literally right over there, right next to where the Apple store is.
Yeah, North Austin is just far. It's probably like 25, 30 years from my house.
Where you at right now?
Like South Austin, kind of southwest. That's where my mom stays.
Man, I'll tell you what, it'd be worth making the extra 30-minute drive instead of going to downtown.
Well, here's the thing about downtown is it's like, when I go to 6th Street, I mean, I don't know if this is crazy, but I feel like underage dudes in a bar, I mean, I don't see that as a big problem. I don't think they're that big. You know what I'm saying? So like when I go like down to like 30, they call it 36, right?
You're right.
So if I see dudes my age, I'm like, oh, what's good? But when I see girls who are like my age or even some younger than me, I'm like, man, you shouldn't even be here.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 30, so
you got to go to the other side. What's the other side called?
E6, 36, yeah. What? Yeah.
Not 36. The one where the people who are actually 21 go to.
Yeah, like more of the west side.
Yeah, west side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or like Rainy Street.
That's what it's called. Yeah, Rainy. That's the one you got to go to if you actually want to be around people who are like 21. But the other one is just a ton of children. I'm like, I don't feel like going over there.
Yeah, because that's a big double standard in today's world. If you had, like you said, if you got underage guys in a bar, they're not gonna sit there and tattletale if a 25, 26-year-old girl tries to sleep with him or whatever.
Yeah. No,
but if that shit's reversed, oh man, you might end up catching one. You know what I'm saying? Or you might end up getting in some trouble. You know, if you 25, 26 and you messing around with a 17, 18-year-old girl, you might get in some trouble. You know, if you 25, 26 and you messing around with a 17, 18-year-old girl, you might get, well, you definitely gonna get caught up if she's 17. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when the club is like, it's like a 21 and up. So I'm saying, like, whatever you do there, just know, hold yourself accountable. I think one problem with this generation, especially kids my age, is like there's no accountability. So like you get yourself caught in a jam and it's let me blame somebody else.
Hell yeah.
So like I done heard it, oh, it's a grown man, like he should have known that she was underage, or why is a grown man at Rainy sitting? It's like, this is a 21 and up club. The impression is everyone is 21 and up. If you're not 21 and up, probably shouldn't be there if you were going to go start problems. If you want to go there and be low key, or do what you want to do and just brush it under the rug, cool. But then, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of issues that come with that. So I've just come to the conclusion, like, I don't want no underage girls in the club. I mean, it's kind of that way in Corvallis too. The guys, they don't really get, I mean, they're a little bit, they've gotten somewhat strict, but the guys, they don't really get ID, but the girls always mad. They're like, they took my ID. I'm like, because they don't want you there, because y'all are liabilities.
Nah, for real. Like, I know you said you're 19, so you might not know what I'm talking about, but if you do know what I'm talking about, then cool. But you remember that Akon situation?
Nah, no, what happened?
So he had a song called Blame It On Me. And just like we're talking about, a club, 21 and up. Anyway, I think the girl was like 18, 17, 18, some shit like that. But she got into a club that was 21 and up. And then long story short, he ended up catching a charge and got convicted for sleeping with her, messing around with her, whatever. But they was like, man, it's 21 and up. Like, like you said, it's the impression that everyone in there is, so, that's legal age in every state, 21 and up. So, yeah, he ended up catching this charge, man. I think he did like 2 years or 3 years or something like that. And then he made that song, Blame It On Me. I'll take the blame for it, all that type of shit. But, yeah, if that would have been reversed, that shit would have never happened.
And you know what I'm saying? It's a double standard, but I've said it with, like, teachers who, flirt with kids.
Oh, yeah, the teachers, man.
Because the English teachers, they love D1 athletes.
They do.
So, I had a couple teachers, obviously not going to expose them, but, they would flirt with me. I didn't care because I didn't want to do work anyways. But I felt like if it was reversed, then it's like an issue. And my thing when it comes to everything is keep everything on the same playing field. I don't care what it is. Either it's all good or it's all wrong. But you can't, like, keep doing these, like, oh, for this it's okay and for that it's not okay. It's just very contradicting. It makes no sense. I don't know. We're not going to get anywhere and progress as a society if we keep moving like that. I don't think so.
That's like that's like the other day I was hanging out with some people, right? And these two girls, they were like moving like these chairs and tables and stuff around, right? Mm-hmm. And they saw me and two dudes we were just chilling. Like, it wasn't like, we was working like as a team or we was doing an activity together and we just let them, move the chairs and the tables by themselves. Like, they was doing their own thing.
Where was this at?
This was at like at a friend's place.
Oh, okay.
And they was doing their own thing, moving tables and chairs. And then, they had their little smart comment talking about, oh, all these dudes over here, y'all can't help us ladies move some tables and chairs. And I was like, first off, bro, I believe in equality. I believe in equal rights, equal treatment, equal work, equal everything. So don't come over here talking about why we didn't help y'all move these. Bro, it was a couple of tables and a couple of chairs. You know what I'm saying?
Like.
And then when I said that I believed in equality and equal rights and equal pay and equal treatment, equal this and equal that, and I was all about equality across the board, they was like, okay, whatever. So they kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, like, it can't just be convenient when it works in your favor. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And there's some stuff that obviously, like my girl, she doesn't like to lift big stuff or take out the trash or whatnot. Cool. She knows I'm not a big fan of, like, cleaning. So it's a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously everything's not going to be equal, but like if she said like, oh, you know, I want you to like clean and stuff you don't enjoy doing, and then I also want you to do this other stuff. It's just what makes sense to me to be like, it looks like I'm doing everything, and it's just. But you know, if you got an equal trade off, I get that. But some of the people nowadays just, and here's the thing, like you got women just unrealistic, and then you got men who listen to like really stupid people on podcasts. So it's just you got the two worlds clashing, and so it's like, for example, Andrew Tate. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but
hey,
for me,
I fuck with Andrew Tate.
For me, I think he's. Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you. I think Andrew Tate is funny, but you gotta know what's like real, and like you gotta know what's reality and then what's fake.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff he says is fake that he's just trying to get views for. You need to know like don't actually do that in real life.
Right.
Like you're not him. And then the stuff that he says is common sense. You know what I'm saying? He'll just be like, oh, you know, assaulting women is bad. And then people will be like, oh, he spits facts. No, that's just common sense.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So, but there can be some, what they say, like there's some truth to a broken clock.
Mm-hmm.
They say a broken clock is
right twice a day.
Yeah, so you know, he's right on some stuff, but other stuff he's just not. But then you have like, you know, other podcasts of like city girls and all this who is like, yeah, I don't want to go 50-50. The man's got to pay for everything. Da, 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 da. So then you got the city girls. The man's got to pay for everything. Andrew Tate don't pay for anything for the woman if she's a hot. It's just like, oh my god. Then you got all these people who don't know how to interact with it. It's just a mess. But you just got to find the right one, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was watching this thing with Andrew Tate the other day. And like you said, some things he says make sense and some things he says doesn't make sense. But the one thing he said that I kind of was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. You ever played chess?
A couple times.
So he used chess as an example in life, right? He was like, you know, think about chess. Like when you play chess, the king can only move one square at a time. But a queen can move wherever, in whichever direction she wants to. There's, you know, she can move 10 spaces left, 10 spaces right. And he was using that analogy in the sense of, like, you know, if you see a man on a yacht that's like 45, 50, he had to work his whole life to get to that yacht, had to bust his ass, wake up at 6 a.m., deal with tax problems, this and that, and woo, woo, woo. Mm-hmm. But then if you see the 16 or the 19, 20-year-old IG model or girl on the boat. He said I think 17 is also legal in like Romania and shit like that.
Well, 17 is like legal in Miami, because I heard some story from some girls. They just go 17 on the dock, wait for old dudes to pick them up, boom, get on the yacht. Because there's some shit I'm like, how did you get on the yacht? Like, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but I'm like, I don't see how you would. You know what I'm saying?
And that goes.
You got the funds for that.
Yeah, and that goes back to the analogy that he was using. You know, like a queen. You know, you see an IG model. All she had to do was what? Get a DM. Hey, you want to come on my yacht? Boom, you're on your yacht. You didn't really have to do much.
Nah, you did not.
You know what I'm saying? You just look good, look cute, and now you got on the $100 million yacht or $20 million yacht or whatever it is. But the king, he had to move one piece at a time to accomplish that down the road. So
I mean, you can look at some, I mean, yeah, no, it's easy for them. It's also easy because like they can really take advantage of like stupid men. You know what I'm saying?
They can.
Because like there's a lot of stupid men out there. For example, back when I was like, I was about 16, 17. I go down to the club and I take this one girl who was my homegirl. She could always get drinks out of these guys, and she was all like, yeah, I usually get 10 drinks every time I go to the club. I'm like, she doesn't actually get that many drinks. She would go and just start getting drinks from men. And all like, talk to him 5 minutes, drink. Talk to him 5 minutes, drink. And they would think it was something more than they were just literally giving her a drink to give to me, because I'm in the back hiding.
Yeah.
But they thought it was something else, and it's like, nah, she's not going to... You'll probably never see her again unless you come here, back here same time. Same time next weekend to get finessed.
And I'm that, like, people who really know me know that, one, I'm not that friend that's ever gonna, hey, let's go to the club. Like, I'm not that friend. Mm-hmm. But if I do go to the club with you, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, every now and then, like, I don't mind stepping out. If it's a new city and it's a new club, all right, cool. I don't mind stepping out. You know what I'm saying? And when I do step out, I'm not buying no random girls, no drinks, bro. Because like you said, the odds of me seeing you ever again even if we do swap information, it's probably slim to none. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People follow you on Instagram. You try to reach out to them. They leave you unseen. Ghost. I'm not finna sit here and spend 15, 20, 30 bucks on you. One, I probably won't even remember your name. And two, like, don't get me wrong though. Like, if I met a girl at a bar or something and we was like isolated, talking away from like the super loud music, you know what I'm saying? And we was conversing, whatever term you want to use. All right, that's a different story. But if you're just some random girl walking up to me talking about, hey, you buy me a drink, no.
You gotta know, cause like if you have a good interaction, but most of the girls who ask you for a drink, you gonna buy them that drink and then boom, they dipping. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
They don't get it. They go to the bar, they're like, oh, it's cool. I got her information. I'm like, bro, text her in the morning. She will not respond to you. You are never gonna see who she is again.
Never.
You just gotta charge it to the game. But a lot of these dudes, that's the thing. They don't charge it to the game. They don't learn, and they go do the same shit. Next week. And it's like, bro, this is why you're stuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why those certain city girls are like, think they're up because they can get guys like you. It's crazy.
No, it kind of like, man, I don't know the dude's name, but I watched another podcast the other day, and this dude was talking about how he had dick discipline like really well. He was talking about like he can be laying in bed with his whether it's a girl he's talking to or a girlfriend or maybe a potential threesome or some shit like that, whatever. And he was like, I'd be hard as a rock in the fucking bed. I'm not touching him. Because he was talking about the value that he knew as a man. So he was always implementing dick discipline. And when he would go out to the clubs, he would have that same mindset. Because, you know, some dudes go to the clubs, they get a couple drinks in them, they feeling good.
Oh my God.
Maybe, you know, maybe they smoked some weed before, popped a couple pills or whatever. They just ready to go and fuck whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was talking about that, and I was like, man, that's something that you don't really hear about a lot, you know what I'm saying? But that's something that a lot of our generation men, I don't know, I mean, I don't really have that conversation with a lot of friends, but I don't hear a lot of people that talk about that sort of stuff, having the discipline.
Nah, you don't. You have guys who they get in the club, get turned for like 15 minutes, and they're ready to make any bad decision.
Hell yeah.
Man. It's just like, come on now. When my friends get to that point, I'm like, all right, let's go home. I don't even want to see where this leads to because I know it's not going to come to something good. But all going to be up and bad.
Hey, and now I do stay up past 2 o'clock. But more times, like when if I'm up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm here at the studio or I'm in a room with people I'm extremely comfortable around. But yeah, boy, my friends know one of my mottos is I do something before 2 something. You know what I'm saying? And if it's after 2 o'clock, like I said, I'm in an extremely comfortable environment or I'm here.
Right.
Or, you know, like I said, there ain't no. I'm not on 6th Street at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, when I see old people on 6th Street, I'm like, come on, bro, your kids are at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you hit like old, like when you're like 40, 45, like you gotta
it's like,
stop.
come on, bro.
Go to a bar, man. Like, what you at the club for? But I'm saying, you know, some people want to get their youth or whatnot, but
I hear that. I'm with you because I'm the same way. I'm like, all right, bro. So if they 40 in the club or something like that, maybe they had a kid in like their early 20s and they missed out on their 20s and they're trying to make up for it in their 40s. Right. And I'm just like, yeah, once you get to a certain age, man, the club scene, it's just got to go.
It has to.
Unless you're getting paid to be in the club, it's got to go.
You just look stupid. Save yourself the embarrassment. Every time I go to 6th Street, it's just people standing outside the club. Just... I don't want to call it loitering because I don't want to seem like that guy, but it's just motherfuckers loitering. And I'm like, what do you gain from doing this? Y'all don't go into the club. It's like 10 dudes just standing outside. Like, what are y'all getting money? But listen. If you were to ask them, why are you standing out at the grand age of like 40 outside the club, not doing nothing? These guys would be saying, "Oh, I'm getting money."
They would say that.
They would say they're getting money.
They would say that.
You're not getting money, bro.
Or what I hated the most.
All 20 of y'all are getting money? Nah.
Nah, not all 20, right? Maybe like one or two of y'all.
Maybe one. I'm gonna split $100.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That the one thing I hated the most, like when I was younger and like going to the clubs, is, man, I would hate when my friends would drag me out to clubs and shit, and then we'd get to the club, and they stand in like one or two spots the whole entire time. They don't talk to nobody. They scared to, walk up to Sarah or whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They would just stand there the whole entire time. I'm like, dude, I didn't get dressed up to come out here to stand for 2 hours in one spot and not talk to nobody.
Right. Some people just think like they got the mindset in their head, oh, I'll come out with a drippy fit on. I got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 fit on. I'm gonna pull some women. No.
That's not always the case.
That's. I mean, the type of women you're gonna be pulling who know the designer clothes, for example, like this is a story I tell a lot of people. I used to go out to the club with this one dude. This man dressed like a bum. I mean, like his fits were like thrifted and like no offense to thrifting, but this man dressed like a bum. I would go in with the Balenciagas and the Givenchy and the Gucci belt and the Subi jeans and all this designer shit. I kid you not. The only women who came up to me were basically gold diggers.
Yeah.
They know the designer you're wearing. They know you like have money. But like in terms of like the genuine like chicks like looking for a fun time, like no, they're not coming up to you. Cause they're not just gonna approach you standing on a wall. You actually have to go talk to them, but they're not gonna like know what you're wearing.
Right.
And that's what I try to tell a lot of dudes. Like, you can really put on some bullshit. If you got game, you got game. It doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Man, that's crazy too, cause people who do know me know I don't wear all that fashion shit, bro. I really don't. I don't wear no Gucci, no Louis, and I mean I don't wear none of that shit, bro. I'm cool with shorts and a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't, and like for me, like I went to Las Vegas last year and I walked into a Gucci. I don't know if they're that different, like the Gucci, because I've been to the Gucci store in the San Marcos, and then the one in Vegas, and then I've been to one in Houston as well.
The one in Vegas, I just got back from Vegas. Yeah, the one in Vegas.
Okay, so did you go to the one in Vegas right off the strip over there? Like when you're over there by like Treasure Island and the MGM Grand, it's like Gucci and Prada and Louis and all those like stores right there in that little corner.
Yeah.
Man, I walked up in there, right, and my mindset was like, all right, man, I'm gonna come in here with like $2,000. I think it was like $2,500 budget, right? I walked in there. Long story short, man, I saw these outfits. I'm talking one outfit. Like the pants and the jacket, maybe some socks or some shit, was my budget, $2,500, $3,000, and I was like, bro, you know how many t-shirts, bro, and basketball shorts I can buy for $2,500, like good quality t-shirts and basketball shorts for $2,500. And so that's one thing I tell my friends all the time. Like, I got friends that wear, the designer. I don't hate on them. You know what I'm saying? Go, you want to treat yourself to something nice, go treat yourself to something nice. You know what I'm saying? Spoil yourself. But I'm not finna sit here and spend $4,000 or $5,000 on one shirt or an outfit that probably cost them like $100 to make, and they turn around and sell it to you for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Like,
well, that's one thing with like basketball shoes that's starting to show. People are buying, they say they're fake replica basketball shoes. But at the end of the day, you have like, like it used to be Jordans. Okay, it's an expensive pair. I'm gonna pay $250, $300. Now for the Jordans, it's like $600, $700, $800 because of these resellers. And then the same resellers get mad at people who wear quote unquote fake Jordans that are replicas that look the same. When it's like, if you never bump the price up so high, these people would buy, be able to afford the shoes. But most people can't afford like a $700 pair of Jordans. It's going to crease. Like, that's a basketball shoe. That's not even designer. That's why I tell people, if you're going to spend $700 on a pair of Jordans, you might as well go and buy a designer pair of sneaks, because it just makes no sense. And then it's like, the resellers like to call people broke every time. Oh, this person's broke because he doesn't want to buy the shoes. Like, if you really have someone, if someone walked in here with fake Jordans, I wouldn't know. If someone walked in here with fake design, I don't think anybody in this room would know, to be honest.
No.
You have that select few of people that can tell and then the rest of like the normal functioning society that does not give a fuck about.
It's crazy how people just spend that much money on outfits and shit though, but
really what it comes down to me is it's like people need to dress in what they like, not what they're told to like. It's a lot of people who are just clout chasers. They're gonna dress in what is popular or what they feel is cool to other people, like Jordan. People don't love Jordans that much. They feel like they look cool in public in Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you like a fit that costs $3,000, go ahead and buy it. But if you like a fit that costs, I don't know, $20, $30, you should also buy it. You should be like, oh, this is a $30 fit. I'm not gonna buy it. It's a lot of sheep. You know what I'm saying? And like with TikTok and all these like fashion motherfuckers, like it just puts that on steroids. You know what I'm saying? People feel they gotta dress a certain way. Like panda dunks and cargos.
Yo.
Why is everyone wearing that?
Yo.
Because they're told that's cool.
Like today's social media has people just so believing that everyone on social media wears expensive clothes and expensive jewelry, and it's like a downgrade. Like you said, if you wear something like shit, if someone asked me how much one of my fits was, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I get my shirts from either Ross or shit, get them hoes at Walmart, like Target. So a suit for me, like, or average price of what I walk around wearing, dude, that shit probably like $100-$150, bro, between the shoes. Well, I don't know, depending on the shoes. Like I bought my Coaches on sale. I bought my Coaches for $50, but they retail at $300. Yeah, so minus the shoes, shit, probably typical outfit for me is like $150-$200, and I got no problem either.
Right, and that stuff you like. I'm just getting sick of people who's like, or they'll put on. People think if you put on an expensive fit, it's drip.
It's drip.
It's not drip.
It's not drip.
I'm here to tell you that shit's not drip. Just because your fit costs $10,000 doesn't mean it looks good. Just put on a fit that looks good. But speaking on the same subject, people gotta know the difference between someone who is it like a fashion fit and then drip. So for example, like scammer drip and fashion drip is two different things.
What's the difference?
So scammer drip is basically like you're gonna wear an expensive pair of shoes, a pair of jeans, and then a t-shirt that matches it all. Or it's gonna be like a Nike Tech and some Balenciagas. You know what I'm saying? Now the fashion people, they go deep into like colorways and mix and coordination and pieces and all that. Scammers, they don't really. It's just like it's not super complicated. Fashion people, their fits are a little bit more complicated, but you can't say like, for example, like if I like to wear scammer drip, I can't say, oh, this person who likes fashion like that shit's trash. Nah, that's their drip. You feel me? And so you gotta just know the difference between all of it. Because I feel like people will say, oh, this fit's trash because they like to dress a certain way, but it doesn't mean that fit's trash. It just means you don't like to wear that. Same with music. There's some artists I don't like, but I acknowledge them as good. I just don't like them.
See, yeah, and I tell my friends all the time, like, especially, like everyone's got artist friends and everything. It's like, do you listen to every song from your favorite artist? Like, do you like every song from your favorite artist?
No.
Who's your favorite artist? Or like, who's some people you like to listen to? Like, if you're just,
I would say my favorite artist ever was probably 2016 Famous Dex.
Man, that's the only song I know from Famous Dex in 2016 is oh man, what's that song? He's like took some. He's like, I took me some time. Took me some time off. I think that's what it was called. He's like he said took me some time off. Man, I'm telling you, that's the name of the song. Watch, I'm telling you right now, because that's the only song I remember. Look, it didn't work. Look right here, Famous Dex. I'm telling you, it had to be. It took some time. Took time. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, see, Took Time featuring D. That's the only song. That's the. Right, I will play real quick. That's the only song from Famous Dex in that time frame that I know. Shit, fast forward that bitch. You remember that song?
Yeah. You sing it. Yeah.
That's the only song from Famous Dex 2016 that I know.
No, I like Famous Dex. Drugs just ruined him, unfortunately. Some people pop too much perks and
that shit just takes him.
Yeah. I mean, it took him. He has some talent.
Yeah.
The stuff he dropped recently is just I mean, he's making a comeback now, but like a year, 2 years ago, he was just dropping horrible stuff.
Just terrible.
Yeah, it was just terrible. Like, not on the beat, just lazy rhymes, just repetitive. Like, he was bad.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to a lot of Famous Dex or rappers that were like similar, like Playboy Cardi, for example. I know a couple of Playboy Cardi songs, but I don't know. He came out like 2015, 2016, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playboy Cardi. I don't know too many of his songs because I grew up with like shit. I mean, you're 19. I mean, you know who like Trey and Paul Wall and Lil Kiki and probably not. You know, probably more of like the new age.
Yeah. SoundCloud era.
Like SoundCloud era and stuff.
Now it's like Opium, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, all them. I don't know if you know who they are.
They're on SoundCloud?
Yeah, they're on SoundCloud. They're like underground, like plug and be artists.
So you listen to so you did say you're from Oregon, speaking of like underground artists. Or you're in Oregon right now.
Yeah, I'm in Oregon right now.
Okay. So what's some underground artists out there?
Bro, honestly, nobody really is put on in Oregon for rapping. There's one guy, obviously everybody knows him, Yeet. He's from Oregon. But like,
are there any big time rappers out of Oregon?
I would say just Yeet right now. I can't name any other rapper in Oregon.
Like I'm talking like just in the last 20 years. You know anyone?
Amine.
Who?
The what is this song? Carolina. West Side something. Y'all know the song, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Y'all know it. Anyways, he's from Oregon. You know, but he's not like a rapper. He's like R&B. He's not like a straight rap.
Okay.
Like, he's a straight rap, and I would say he's basically put on for the state. Other than that, Oregon is just like nobody really raps. No really underground scene. It's honestly a lot of weird people. People are like. I get like pretty annoyed when people are like, "Oh yeah, Oregon and Austin are similar." I'm like, there's like obviously it's expensive. It's a lot of white people, but other than that, like the culture shock, like the wave is completely different. When people try to compare it, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, take a trip down here and you'll find out.
To Austin or just
to Austin?
Just to Austin? Nah, you couldn't. I mean, I'm not too educated on Oregon, but you know, like when I think of Oregon, you know, I think of like the nice trees and the wilderness and the mountains and stuff like that. So I don't know if Austin really has anything as far as like, you know, because Oregon has like the pine cone trees and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean.
Well, it's like everyone, like when I tell them, they think like Austin's super soft. And I'm like, well, Austin's not obviously Chicago, but like you can't come down here talking reckless, or you know what I'm saying? Like someone's gonna put you like if you come down to Austin talking reckless, like someone's gonna deal with you. If you talk reckless in Oregon, who's really gonna do anything? Most people aren't gonna do anything.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, so I don't know nothing. I just found out the other day that they got rappers in Alaska. To be honest with you, I was hanging out with one of my boys, and he was like, "Man, I was watching this TV show, and they got rappers in Alaska." And I was like, I didn't even know they had rappers in Alaska, to be honest with you.
Some of them are kind of hard. I seen like some statements on TikTok.
From Alaska?
Yeah, it was some guy who said he's from Alaska. I was like, but they all like. All the West Coast, I feel like, raps like California. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Alaska's technically the West Coast or where it's at.
I don't know where technically Alaska falls into that category. Do y'all know where technically Alaska falls in that category? No? He's like, no, I don't.
But like California, you know, you have Oregon, Washington, like especially Washington rappers. They say they rap like Washington rappers, but it's like, you know how Blueface raps his cadence? Everybody on the West Coast raps like that. It's kind of a little offbeat.
Little off.
Off and on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Well, speaking of Oregon, so you going to school in Oregon right now, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you go to school for?
Right now, well, the plan was just to go for football and just figure it out. But then I'm like, nah, I gotta take some of the grades serious. So I'm in communications right now. I'm probably gonna switch over to business. But a lot of the work is just, I just be getting bored, to be honest. My GPA is like a 3.8. I don't do anything all day. I just I don't study.
And you still got a 3.8?
Yeah.
I
just be getting bored, to be honest. That's why I started a clothing brand, because I'm like, I got to do something with my time, because there's nothing to do out in Oregon. Unless, I feel like the majority of the campus at Oregon State, like, the Greek life runs a lot of the social stuff. Obviously, there's some, like, other house parties and whatnot, but the Greek life runs it. So if you're not in Greek life, you're really not on it. You feel me? So I was like, shoot, I'm not joining no frat. So
yeah.
So I was like, I gotta figure out something.
Oh yeah. How many more years of school you got? 1, 2?
I have 3 years left of eligibility, because like if you redshirt a year, you can get 5. So I redshirted my first year because I ripped my quad in half.
Man, I was reading something the other day. Apparently, and maybe you know more about this than I do, because I was reading this article in UTSA, in San Antonio. They have a quarterback that's on his 7th season, and it was something about like a gray shirt or something like that. Yeah. Plus the red shirt allowed him to be eligible for but I'm like, bro, 7 years, like you don't have some
people who got 8.
Like you don't had a whole career at that school. You know what I'm saying? Like
there's some people who got eligibility for a 9th year.
Like I forgot that Brandon Whedon. You remember Brandon Whedon?
Mm-hmm.
He went Oklahoma State. Yeah, he was like 28, 29. He played Major League Baseball and then went over to football. He played over there at Oklahoma State for like 5 years or something like that.
Crazy.
It's wild, bro.
Right.
I'm like, how y'all be playing for 5 years?
Listen, it's like, so how it started before COVID. Let's say I get injured, right? So I get a gray shirt or whatever. Let's call it a medical gray shirt.
Medical gray shirt, yo.
Then I red shirt, which is just you don't play.
You don't play, yeah.
Okay, boom. Then you get an extra COVID year. You got what? 7 years.
Yeah.
Just off of that. I don't really have a problem with it if it's like somebody else, but for example, like if I were to come out of high school now, I'd be pretty pissed off, because it's like, bro, y'all got to get on with it. Like I'm trying to just get on the roster, because it's hard to, like it's already hard to go D1, but now it's hard to get on a roster with all these people, because if he's coming back for a 5th year, if he's coming back for a 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th if you're a really big clown, but
spend 9 years playing college football. You don't play college football so long, you already affected your NFL career. Like
they're not gonna pick you up.
They're not gonna pick you up. You already got bumps and bruises. You know what I'm saying? Especially like you a running back, you played 6 years college, they're gonna be like, all right, bro, really you should have played 3, maybe 4, worst case scenario. You got 2 extra years of wear and tear already, so we might only get 3 years out of them.
Because the average stay in the NFL is like maybe 2-3 years.
It's like 2.5 years, I think.
2.5 years,
yeah,
right.
I think it's 2.5 years.
So if you already spent 8 years in college, what, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not even if you're gonna go to the NFL. Like you're not gonna go to the NFL. You can think you're gonna go to the NFL. I can tell you're not going to go to the NFL. So at the end of the day, all you're doing is just screwing over the high school kid who's got dreams of coming to
yeah, and if you do go, you might be an undrafted free agent. I don't know.
Or sending the high school kid to JUCO, because JUCO sucks.
Yeah.
I've heard about this JUCO stories. I'm like, nah, I'm not. Shout out to people who went to JUCO, but me, I could never do that shit.
No?
No.
That's what I was telling you when I went to Blinn. Blinn's a JUCO.
No, my homie was there.
Yeah.
He tells me about it, and I'm like, because sometimes like I'm backup right now, so you know, backup kicker is kind of like you gotta kick off a lot for scout team, and then you gotta kick off like in terms of like your normal reps. You know what I'm saying? So it sometimes feels like a lot, but then I just sometimes think like, damn, I really could be in prison right now, or I could be at like a JUCO. I just think of the worst comes worst, and I just think of JUCO, and I'm like, yeah, that is horrible. Like. They make them do all this running. Like the kickers at Oregon State, like we do running, outside of the season, but during the season, like we don't do a lot of running, so it's pretty nice. You just kind of show up, kick, talk about popular current events, and then practice is over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. But until you start missing. If you start missing in games, that's when.
Yeah.
I tell like athletes, kickers, once you start playing, I would just say go ahead and delete Twitter. Because people on Twitter are just ruthless.
Boy, you don't gotta tell me. You remember when you remember when that Minnesota Viking kicker missed that field goal a couple years ago for the playoffs? That dude was getting death letters sent. But that's what's crazy to me is how the fans find out these players' addresses and send them. Like, it's one thing to find out their address, but bro, you took enough time out of your day to tell this person how bad they suck and you wish they would die because they missed a field goal. Like, I understand, like, as sports fans, but bro, at the end of the day, it's just football. Like, for you to, like, even when the fans are stabbing each other in Oakland, or you like certain teams, I forgot. I think it's like Oakland and I don't know. There's a team in the NFL that Oakland no longer plays at because the casualties were just so repetitive, and it was an ongoing thing for so many years. And it's just I think it was like. Maybe it was the Chargers and the Raiders. I don't remember. But just the mere fact that it escalates to that level over a football game.
I mean, people love to hate. Like, it could be someone who's like has no money, not betting on the game, just someone who wants to go and hate. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I do like to hate sometimes. Like, you know, I'm a person as well. But like, there's people who they love to hate. Like, for example, like my TikTok, if I do a video someone doesn't agree with. Or like we'll win a big game, right? And I'm just in the locker room posting like not know what the other team sucks, their quarterback just we won, but we're turning up. People in my comments, you don't even play, bruh. you don't even play. It's a wasted scholarship. Or just hate comments. I've had people in my DMs like kill yourself, all this stuff. It's crazy over just football.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like
and like if mentally you're not ready for it, because I've been hated on all my life. At that point, like I low-key kind of enjoy it, because I feel like if nobody's hating on me, I'm not doing something right. But for the people who don't have that mindset and get hated on and can't take it, they start thinking about it, boom, more hate comes in, and then they don't perform as good, and then it's just and then it's gonna lead to the downfall of their mental health and whatnot. So it's crazy. People will just say. A lot of times it's young kids. It's like a 12, 13-year-old.
Oh, they be the funny ones too.
They be funny, but damn, sometimes they say stuff I'm like, geez, I was not expecting that. Like I said, find out where you live, find out who your mom is, who your dad is, where you went to middle school, just crazy stuff.
And that's what I be telling people too, like the modern day athletes versus the 60s through the 90s athletes. Today's athletes, they got to deal with, like you said, turn your Twitter off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get on social media, and if the players through the 60s and the 90s had to do, like you said, I know it would affect a lot of those players' mentalities. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we get into, like people debate, if you could take today's players and put them in those eras or those players and put them in today's eras, and that conversation starts going. That's one of the first things I talk about, is because even Michael Jordan talked about it a couple of times, like how he just got so big that before games he would go into the locker rooms by himself, or like a private room by himself, just so he could be a human for an hour and a half before the game and not be bothered and have media. And then, you go out there and you following them, and then, you lose a game, and, your TikTok's blowing up, your Instagram, your Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Saying how bad of a job you did, and this and that, and woo, woo, woo. Like, a lot of people, they can't handle all that. Some people, like, you hear about it all the time, people die, unfortunately, in today's world because cyber bullying or verbal abuse.
Well, the thing I find crazy is, like, student athletes, people often forget, are people, not just robots. So, for example, me, and I don't know about anyone in this room, I'm not going to talk to a dude who's 6'6", 270, reckless on the street. I'm not going to talk to him reckless. But you have some people who think, oh, well, he's a student athlete. Let me go and talk to him reckless. Mm-hmm. And then he punches me in the face.
Now you're the victim.
Right. And they say, oh, he's got no self-control. He's a thug. He's an animal, da-da-da-da. And then I just be wondering, like, what did you say to piss this man off that bad? Nobody talks about that.
No, for real. Like, prime example, a couple months ago, like LeBron had got a fan kicked out of the out of a game for a little verbal altercation that occurred, and everybody was just focused on LeBron. Then Draymond Green did the same thing. Draymond Green got into an altercation with a fan, got him kicked out of the arena. It's like these fans think that because they spend in a god amount of money, whether, you know, like those, like courtside tickets, some of those games is $150,000, $200,000 for the court sides, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then so they think, oh, I'm spending $50,000, $60,000, $100,000. I can talk to y'all. You know, like fans be throwing trash at the players and stuff like that. They think because they spending all that money, you just an athlete.
Right. And like
I can treat you a certain way. You suck, right?
If it's stuff like that, like I'm totally cool with that. It's stuff that gets so personal, like people start calling out people's dead sisters.
No, for real.
Like kids, like wives, like all that. And you expect that person as a human who's not gonna react, but then once you react, it's like, oh, they don't have any composure. They're
like self-control or
right?
Yeah. It's like, nah, man, you can't just go up in there talking reckless, especially about someone's family. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know over any, whether it's soccer or football or swimming, tennis, whatever sport it is. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be and that's why I'm glad like the NBA and like the NFL, they started banning some of these fans, and fuck them. Like if they get a lifetime ban, yeah, you should have thought about that before you went out there and started throwing your halfway eaten hot dog on the players or something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd you think was going to happen?
Stuff that they say, because I think it all, like I said, it all comes down to, if you see this man on the street, it's no security, it's no cameras. Are you gonna talk reckless to him? Because I realize every time I talk reckless to someone, that person can come around and punch me in the face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna act shocked when they punch me in the face because I was talking reckless. But you have other people, they talk reckless and they think nothing's gonna come of it, and then something comes of it, and then it's victim. You know, they victimize themselves.
Yeah. Or like, I mean, Devontae Adams didn't talk to nobody reckless. But do you remember that Devontae Adams story that just happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where he got mad because they lost the game and he shoved that camera guy out of his way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he wrote that dude a nice little check too to make sure it didn't go to court, and you know he got like a little slap on the wrist with like a Class C misdemeanor assault charge or something like that, and yeah, you know they handled it behind closed doors and. Hey man, you know, here's 300,000. Like, let's, you know, keep it moving type shit. So that's another thing too. Is like when those players react, they gotta think of a lot of repercussions besides just jail, because they're gonna get hit with a check. Maybe the NFL suspends them, or maybe
they might lose their deals.
They might lose. Yeah, they might lose some endorsement deals.
Kyrie lost all his
Kyrie lost all his endorsement deals.
Yeah, I was
every single one.
I was shocked.
But yeah, man, so that Kyrie thing was crazy, though. All he did was one little tweet, and then everything was taken under him.
Right, and I can see from both perspectives, you know what I'm saying? I see why people were upset about the film, what was said in the film, how that could be taken as offensive. I totally get that. But to drop him for everything, I don't know. There's some people who've done worse and people who don't care. And then you have Kanye, like, he's getting dropped from everything. And honestly, I can see why, because he's going off the edge. But when they banned his bank account, and that same bank had Jeffrey Epstein, like, come on now, man.
My thing with the Kyrie thing was everyone was so mad and outraged over, because if you know why it happened, all he did was he retweeted something. He shared a link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we this mad at Kyrie for sharing a link. But those same people who got on him and, you know, took his sponsorships away and basically turned against Kyrie. Well, why y'all ain't got that same energy for Netflix? They're the one who released the documentary. They're the ones who allowed the people to make the documentary and put it on their platform. And then those same people that are doing all that to Kyrie, they probably on Netflix watching the documentary.
It's crazy too because like your favorite celebrity is most likely a weirdo. I'm not gonna go too deep into why they're weird, but your favorite celebrity is probably a weirdo. But you have these athletes, they say something they're not supposed to say, and it's okay, we're gonna cancel them. Boom,
cancel them.
Take them. But then the other people, it's like Morgan Wallen. Nobody cared. What when he said the N-word, nobody cared. He just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking diversity lessons now," or whatever he said, and then that just gets swept under the rug. But these guys, they say something that people don't agree with, and like I said, it's either all good or it's all bad. Keep everything on the same playing field, but when it's not on the same playing field, it brings questions. Oh, so these guys get canceled, and cancel culture is just stupid, bro. Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
Just cancel them, like, come on now. There's some out of pocket stuff that's like, all right, this person needs their platform, take it. I agree with that. I don't agree with just canceling somebody because you don't agree with what they say, and then trying to get everybody to not like that person because you don't like that person. There are some people I don't like, and people say, "Why don't you like that person?" I can say, "I don't like that person because he's got blonde hair." That's my reason, but I'm not going to try and convince everyone else they have to dislike that person because that person has blonde hair or black hair or brown hair or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I've had that same situation happen a couple times where, like, I'll have two friends that get into it, or not even two friends, just two people, that I met and I might be building new relationships with. They got a problem with each other and they try to bring me into it. I'm like, bro, like that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all went through, I haven't gone through that yet. If it does, then we'll address it. But don't be mad at me for, like, I just started building this relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I hear you. And then they try to get you to hate the other person because of some shit that happened between them.
I'm sorry, I ain't got nothing to do with that. What? Why are you bringing me? And see, and I like that you said that. It comes down like, if it's two people and one person does some horrible stuff, and you're like, okay, that's that person's principle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if it's just you two got beef over something that I got nothing to do with, and I'm supposed to go take somebody's side, like, no, bro.
Right. No, I hear you on that for sure. It also depends on the magnitude of the situation itself as well. Yeah, if it's just like some petty, they talking because they don't like each other, or this person, texted her boyfriend or something like that, man, come on, bro. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, I'm gonna be friends with both y'all, but like you said, the magnitude of the situation would definitely come into play, though. Yeah, I hate that. I don't like dealing with that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let them know, like, I'm not here instigating, but I'm not gonna be stirring up your drama. But I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I got a relationship with both of y'all. Let's not try and combine or talk about that, and then we can go on. And if both of y'all can't do it, or one person can and one person can't, then somebody's gotta get cut off. Because that's the thing I be saying, like, when somebody moves in a way I don't like now, I just cut them off. I don't care who you are.
So let's talk.
There's been people like,
yeah.
Once I like, so a lot of people don't even know I play sports because I try to keep it on the low key. I like to have a personality, and I like to have people who like fuck with me because they like me, not because of my status as an athlete or whatever it might be. So it's been that way since high school. Like, some people knew I was good, but there's still some people, if you come into Austin, they will not know I play at a Power 5 Division 1 program, and I'm cool with that.
Right.
But when I like became D1, and all that, and got the offers and it's people jumping out of the bushes,
and stuff, right? Oh, that's my cousin.
Yeah. Oh, we bros, man.
Yeah.
Or when people don't like, I feel like I get everybody's busy, but when someone kind of makes it clear they don't have time for me, then it's like, I don't got time for you. Boom, cut off. And people thought I was going on a rampage because, man, I graduated high school. I said I go to Oregon. I said, listen, I'm keeping around the people, like, I'm the homies and stuff like that, but the other people that it's like, oh, we're friends, but I gotta always reach out to you. You ain't got time for me. Nah, boom, cut off. Then I come back, they're always, oh, let's hang, let's link, da-da-da. Nah, bro, like, I don't know why you're DMing me. I unfollowed you. I just said, have fun with your life, bro. I don't care what you're doing. Like, I'm gonna do me, you do you. we're not really cool anymore. It's not no beef, but we're not cool. But then those people always come crawling back.
Mm-hmm. And that's the society we live in, man. It's so crazy. Like when people, like if you unfollow someone now, that's like the ultimate. Like I don't fuck with you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like I don't want to see your timeline. I don't want to see what you got going on. Like I don't want shit to do with you. Like that's the ultimate. Like that's crazy where we are as a society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not gotta be any petty stuff.
Yeah, they think that you like
Yeah, they think that it's like, oh, we got beef.
We got beef and shit.
Like, I mean, if you say it's up, it's up. But like, I just don't care about you anymore.
Yeah.
It's simple.
And I tell people all the time, I get like we all got lives, we all busy, you know, we all doing a billion things and all that. But it's like I break shit down. I'm like, kind of like what you said. If I can take 5-10 minutes out of my week, maybe I'm so busy that day I can't take 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of that day. But out of a whole week, if I could take 10 minutes out of the week to call you, to check up on you, to see how you doing, and it's always me doing it to you, eventually I'm gonna stop doing it.
Right.
And then when I stop doing it, don't be like, oh man, where'd you go? Like what happened? Bro, remember come on, bro.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell my friends all the time. Like, I get it if you try to hang out with somebody, maybe here and there, and it doesn't fall through. But if you try to hang out with someone 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and they always tell you I'm busy, bro, after like the 4th or 5th time, you should just understand that they're not trying to hang out with you.
Yeah, they don't fuck with you like that.
They don't fuck with you like that. Because anybody who really, really wants to do something, I know motherfuckers will move their whole schedule around to go to their favorite rap concert, or go on vacation, or go to a movie, or go on a date with someone they just met. You will move your whole schedule around to do something that you really want to do.
People will shift their entire schedule for a Tinder date.
They will.
For a Tinder date.
They will.
But they can't move it for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, they can. They don't want to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And people realize, you know, you don't have to be the person who's like, all right, I'm like these fake antisocial people, or like I'm misunderstood. You ain't gotta be that. But there are some people, like, if you want to grow, you gotta cut off, because they're not trying to, you know, make it up with you. They're just gonna get lost in the sauce. And you don't want to just always trying to progress yourself, and then you got some sheep following you behind. That's what I'm saying. Like, people now, I'm not gonna put on somebody random if I don't feel they have any value, you know.
Right.
And I hate to sound materialistic, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you're just some random bum, and you're asking to put on, like, what are you gonna provide for me?
Right.
And that's just the society we live in. Like, that's business, that's job opportunity, that's college, that's everything. But a lot of people don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They think, oh, it's selfish because you don't want to, you know, put your hand out to everybody. Nah. If you ain't got anything to offer to the table, why would I put you on?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get put on the sauce, but if I put you on the sauce, what you gonna put me on to?
Yeah, or how are you gonna yeah, because especially if you give someone like that big of an alley oop, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm showing you love, I'm showing you contrition, you know, I'm showing you all this. Well, I mean, what are you gonna show me in return? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I hear you on that, man, for sure.
Because I got people I put on who got bigger than me. You know, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
And then they still will put me on. Like, if I need some advice for my clothing brand, or I need them to get a shirt to some influencer, or you know, I just need a favor from them, they're gonna put me on. But it's like vice versa. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who ends up, you know, at the top or who's more put on. It just knows that y'all are always going to be there for each other. But if it's someone who's not going to be there for you, that's the ultimate, like, one-way ticket to getting cut off.
Hell yeah. So shit, man, going into 2023, you know, we talked about your clothing stuff a couple of times. What's going to be the goal with that?
Man, really, like, I'm just working on some marketing stuff right now. So I'm trying out some different stuff. So I have, like, you know, different looking models. Really what I want to do is just I've written down my goals. I want to get like 1 sale per week, and then 2 sales per week, and then 3 sales, and then re-up. Like
with your shirts?
Yeah, and then get them to like maybe like a bigger influencer.
And is it just shirts that you're doing, or are you doing like whole suits, or?
So like I had this, which was kind of like this was not original. This was just the EDD, and then Taking Risks, which my brand Take the Risk. So it's in there, and then the shirt I got on right now, that's on my brand Sightseeing. Then I got an Atlanta shirt. I got Mutual Commitment. I got a zip up hoodie. I got some tapestry stuff coming in. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff on the line.
Yeah. So where did sightseeing come from?
The sightseeing was basically like my graphic designer in Indonesia. We were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like I think a lot of people they just work themselves to death, you know. And then he came up with this kind of like concept, and then I told him to switch out the words. Basically, the shirt's like, don't work too hard. Like, take vacations, take time off for yourself. You know, like money's good and all, but you want to enjoy your life.
Yeah.
You don't. Your life doesn't just want to be about money.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't want to be someone who's gonna say, oh, money doesn't equal happiness, because like, I don't know no broke person who's living a great life. You know, who's like real life broke. I don't.
Man, you know, like, when people say when people say, you know, and this is coming from someone who, like, I was homeless for a long time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was homeless for like 6 years, and then I've had a job making 6 figures. So when people say, you know, money comes with all these problems and this and that and blah blah, look, bro, you're gonna be rich and have the same. You're angry, upset, broke, depressed. You're gonna have all those things.
Yeah.
But when you rich and you sad and you mad and you upset, it's like, yes, maybe some people, it's two different things. Because when you're broke, a lot of people that are broke are sad and upset and, you know, depressed, maybe because they can't pay their rent or they're behind on certain bills or they can't, you know, it's more of like financial shit. You know what I'm saying? I would rather be rich and sad and angry and mad and going through some shit knowing that my finances is good, taken care of, and then just go in there and take care of everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
Whether you're broke or you're mad, or if you're broke or you're rich, middle class, wealthy, whatever you are, everyone's going to go through those same emotions. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to go through those same emotions when you don't have, you know, oh man, can I pay my rent on top of everything else? Can I pay my car note on top of everything else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People who be saying that are stupid rich. So your dad's a billionaire, but you telling me how money doesn't buy happiness. Well, you got $1 billion.
Yeah, you know,
like come and switch out lives with somebody else, and
yeah,
they'll be happy to switch with you.
Because like for me, like when people say money, and you know, money has different meanings to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But like for me, I always carry, like during the summer, I'll always carry extra waters in my car for like homeless people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, you know, if I got a couple of extra bucks on me, you know, and, you know, like the 7-Elevens around here, you know, if it's cold, I'll be like, hey man, like, you know, you want some coffee or something like that? If you're broke, and like I said, money means things to different people, I enjoy being able to help someone who's less fortunate because I've been in that shoes before. I know what it's like to wish you had someone that would just, you know, help you out with a 2-3 extra bucks, maybe get you a meal for the day. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're straight and all that. So, you know, I don't see, you know, when people say money don't buy happiness. Nah, it does. You just looking in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or maybe you ain't been in a position of 6, 7, 8 figures or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I tell people. I say, look, man, I'm from the burbs, man. I'm from the suburbs. I'm not gonna say, oh, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. Like, I mean, I grew up with a lot of money, but you know, that isn't the reason I'm happy. No, I'm not gonna speak on that because
Right.
you know I grew up with money. If it's someone who's, like I said, generally broken, they're speaking like that, I'll listen to the perspective, but and most times it's not. It's people who are stupid rich in saying that, and I have the luxury of, you know, like I can, like you said, I can give a homeless man a beer or money or whatnot. But if I was like struggling financially, I probably couldn't do that.
Right.
So
I feel you on that. Well, man, you know, next year, you know, hope everything goes well with the clothing, the school. You know what I'm saying?
get some playtime.
Get some playtime in. You know, get some clothing and all that stuff. Definitely hope to be, you know, see you back out here. You know, come 2023. You know, hope blessings and all that stuff for you. Before we get out of here, though, man, let everybody know where they can find you out on social media to follow your journey.
Y'all can find my TikTok page is TNB Stays Ballin'. It's my TikTok page. You can catch me on Instagram at Take the Risk 1. That I is with the 1, so that's Take the Risk spelled normally. That I is a 1.
Awesome, man. Y'all heard what it is, man. Stay tuned. You know, Paradox Productions, we doing these all the time, week in and week out, man. So once again, it was good to have you on here, man. We'll see you soon. All right, my man.
All right.
We gone.
Peace.